Yep.
We're live.
Right.
What's up, guys? We're live with Mysterious State, Kevin Tucker, Dustin Walls. This show is unofficially brought to you by Torpedo IPA because, like, I do this every time. You know, this it's extra IPA.
Extra.
Well, we're hoping one of these days we'll get an actual sponsor. So
Yeah, well, this is Sierra Nevada, so Torpedo IPA. Oh man,
Right.
there's some echo.
that was me.
We're officially up.
Okay, gotcha.
I always like to share at the same time while we're on. So
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
and then I
Oh,
kick
yeah.
off.
We should probably share on our pages, man.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to do it.
I have to do it on my cell phone. So
I'm on my phone right now.
I
I
know.
love living in the country.
It's all good. It's all good.
yeah, we'll
No,
get it
I
worked
mean,
out.
you'll be able to share it afterwards if you need to. But
Yeah.
Right.
you know, we do have like a little sidebar over here where people can ask questions if they want to, or
Oh, cool.
whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will.
So
Hopefully, we
now
get some questions.
I know Dustin's had like a lifetime of an entity, basically, disrupting his life when it can. What about you, Kevin? Anything?
My story. My story is pretty boring. Basically, what started me on this whole deal. I'll keep it short. My wife was really into the paranormal. She watched all the paranormal shows like Ghost Adventures and Taps and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was a bunch of hooey. I thought it was just whatever, And but she really got into it there at one point in time about 7 or 8 years ago. And there was a group that was in Guthrie, Oklahoma that were taking people with them. It was a pay to play type thing. And I thought, well, it's around her birthday. I'll take her up there. I'm not into it, but she'll get a kick out of it. So I took her to the thing, and the whole point, I was going to make a little video about it because that's really what I am. I'm more of a filmmaker than I am. Was more of a filmmaker than I was an investigator. But anyway, so we went to this one place, and basically I got pushed. Something took 2 fingers and just pushed me back about 3 feet. And then that's when I was like, okay, there was no one around me.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be something to this. And then I've been obsessed with it ever since, just trying to figure it out.
Hey, what about the? You guys ever got like the 3 scratches on you anywhere?
I got 1 scratch. I never got the 3 scratches. That was at the same place I got pushed at the scare grounds. The Guthrie
I've
scare
been just
ground.
scratched up a handful of times.
Yeah. He's been kind of scratched up, nicked a little bit and stuff, and pushed. Also, I mean, we've both experienced pretty much. I mean, everything but like a oppression or a possession.
Yeah.
I've been thrown up against a wall. What
What does that feel like when your body gets touched by, whatever's trying to mess with you?
It kind of starts off. It feels like cobwebs. And then you'll start feeling kind of like a cold sensation, and then you'll feel the fingerprints inside there, and like it. Sometimes it can get so. I think it depends on how strong they are, but you can get to where you can feel like their fingernails and stuff like that on the back of your neck or wherever they decide to touch. That's how the particular one that is always around me. I can feel his fingernails when he does it. That's kind of how I know it's him. It's just.
Man, I could go on this all day long because Dustin and Kevin don't know, but like ghosts have followed me my whole life, and so I got into it a little bit. I had some stuff happen. I try to stay away from it and focus on Bigfoot, but I'm getting to the point now where I want to get back into this part of it because I've had things happen to me. I've seen things. I've been touched. Probably since I was 12, 13 years old. And I know you got a story, Dustin, about the thin man with the hat or something like that. Now, I was sketching something that I seen in my house. This was a house we lived in for about 7 years, and we saw this thing all the time. It did everything from opening cabinets to it threw a glass cooking dish across the kitchen and exploded. I had my pants picked up for me when I was in the bathroom once. I've had doors close on demand. I used to wake up to this guy standing at the side of my bed staring at us in the middle of the night. Now, I sketched this, and I have not heard your story other than what Shane had told me, but this is what I saw all the time. Whoa. It's just no face, just solid black, broad shoulders, and this really sharp hat that goes across, almost like a cowboy hat, but it's flat. And this guy is around all the time.
See, mine, I can see his face really well. He don't have eyes, they're like sunk in, but it's really black. He has a really thin mustache. The hat's a little bit tighter. It's a duster he's wearing, and he has nothing from the waist down.
Yeah, and mine may be a duster. It's something dark, but the shoulders are real pronounced. Like there might be, I want to say like padded almost or something. I don't know what it is, but there's something on the shoulders. They don't slope like mine do or like any of you guys. They're more straight out like that. But his face is nothing. It's just solid black. Like I can never get any kind of. But I mean, this thing would like peek around corners at me, and it tripped me out. And I lived in that house for 6 or 7 years, and I saw this thing all the time. And I'm not the only one. My ex-wife saw him and everything. So
I lived in this house for 12 years when I was growing up. From the time I was we lived in this first house where he kind of showed himself to my parents. We lived there first, and then we moved over to this other house, and that's the house where he started messing with me. I was probably about 5 or 6 when it started, but it was just like it'd be when I was alone too. It'd always be when I was alone. As soon as the door would shut, Mom would run outside to the car or something like that. As soon as that door shut, it would start just banging on the wall, scratching, door shut, and stuff like that. And as I got older, I was like 12, 13 years old. I had to go home and sit for 2 or 3 hours waiting on Mom and Dad to get off work after school. And it was, I don't know how to explain it any other way, but it was hell. Like my homework was just scribbles because I was sitting there so scared. I was shivering, and I couldn't write. And it was like, I don't know how to explain it any other way. Just footsteps running up and down the hallways, banging on the walls. You feel breathing on the back of your neck. I mean,
I don't know how you got.
Nope, we lost Shane.
Uh-oh.
What?
The guy got him already. But so for you had a sense of fear. Well, for me, I didn't really have a fear with this guy, and I keep saying it's a guy, because it looks like a guy, but it was more of like just like somebody's just there. You know what I mean? Like I never had like any kind of malicious feeling of or anything like that. It was just like he was just with us all the time. It was odd. Like I really can't really describe it, but I never felt like I was afraid of him. It was almost like I knew he was there, but he wasn't out to get me or anything like that. Of course, throwing the glass cooking dish across the kitchen and exploding it. Opening, I have a deal with doors. I don't like cabinets open. Like if a cabinet's supposed to be closed, you know what I mean? Like don't leave a cabinet open around me because I'm going to let you know you left it open. So I would come home early from work and all my kitchen cabinets would be open. And I thought it was the kids, and I'm blaming my kids. Y'all quit leaving these cabinets open, and they're like, it's not us. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Well, it turns out it wasn't them. You know what I mean? It was this thing messing with me. Like it knew that I had an issue with that. And I come in, the first thing I do, I'd walk in the front door. I had this foyer that went into the kitchen, and there'd be cabinets open. And I'd just go through, just boom, boom, slamming them and just kind of cussing under my breath. My dang kids, left these things open again. But, all this time I'm trying to yell at my kids and ground them, and they're not the ones doing it, so I feel a little bad about that. But
hey, go ahead, Dustin.
Mine was really weird because I would have stuff happen in every house we lived in. It would be something simple, like the house we moved into after we left the house on Main Street. Nothing happened. We lived there 2 or 3 years. We didn't have anything happen. Then we moved over to a house on Fur. We lived there only a year or two, but like me and my sister would go to school in the morning, and then we would come back, and we'd come back, and our furniture in our bedrooms would be switched.
Whoa.
Yeah, it'd be weird stuff like that we couldn't explain.
That's crazy.
And then we moved back out at Empire, and that's when everything took off again, and he showed himself to me.
I wonder why that is.
It was like little weird stuff. I don't know how to explain it any other way. It was just enough to where you noticed it. And now it's even like that now. Probably about a year ago, I used to work for a company here spraying yards, and I was walking in through the office to go tell the office lady what I'd done, what I'd got accomplished for the day, and a phone picks up and just hits me in the side, like flies 4 or 5 feet, And I turn around and I look at the guy that was following me. He's just like, "What the hell?" And the office lady was just like, "What did we just see?" And I was just kind of like, "Oh, by the way, I've got a little friend that kind
I'm
of
haunted.
lets me know when he's not happy with something I'm doing or whatever."
Now, do you think that certain people are just they're just attracted to certain people? And when I say people, do you think there's any lineage in that, like to your kids or like to your parents or somebody?
Yeah, I do. I do. It's really kind of a weird deal, but I like after like the little episode came out on the Travel Channel of my horror story and all that. I had a lot of family come out of nowhere and start telling me all these crazy stories about stuff. I actually had a grandpa, I guess, a great grandpa way back in the olden days that he actually got paid by banks to go into houses that they thought were haunted, and he would go and rid them of spirits. So it's kind of what I'm doing now is kind of like a family thing in a roundabout way, and didn't even know I was doing it.
Yeah.
But there's like, I guess my grandma had like some premonition or something, weird stuff like that. Just like different family members, not everybody, but a handful of us. Not necessarily saying psychic. It's just there's something special. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The reason why I mentioned that is, past and present. My grandma, she's passed away now, but she told me in two different situations.
No, dude. Your grandma scared the living hell out of me.
Different states, even. Once when she was a kid and once as an adult, but she claims to have met the devil himself. And I stayed at her house my first experience was when I was about 13, 14, where I heard I want to say it was some type of demon voice that was talking to me because I could not interpret it, but I knew it wasn't right. And I remember waking my mom up, basically frantic, crying, like, "Hey, we got to get out of this house. Something's not right." And she's telling me, "Hey, you're overreacting. Quit being a scared little kid." And then the chandelier above us illuminated and went super white bright and popped. And we left in the middle of the night right after that. And it was hard for me to go to my grandma's house after that. But presently, my daughter, who's 15, has been having some weird things happen to her. So, the iPhone has the camera where it boxes your face when you're in the selfie mode or whatever. She's been having a face pop up to her left, pretty consistent. At first, she thought it was just the way the pattern in the brick wall was because she was outside a couple times. So she kind of played it off as maybe it's picking up some type of face or something. Then it started happening in other parts of the house, but it's always over her left shoulder. And she feels like it's something there. And she's even started to see some things in her room. She's starting to get a little bit of image. And I keep telling her that I think she gets that from me and from my grandma. And I keep telling her that if you keep acknowledging this thing and accepting it, you're going to start to see it more and more, and it's going to get to be, a bigger part of your life. So I don't know. I was just curious what you guys thought about that, as far as handing that down to your kids and stuff. So
to me, I think they're gonna make themselves known regardless if you acknowledge them or not. I think if you don't acknowledge them, that tends to make them do the stuff that scares the hell out of you a little bit more. They kind of up the ante every time, if that makes any sense. That's kind of how it was for me anyway. Once I started kind of acknowledging the dude, he started backing off a little bit. So it's basically kind of, if I'm not paying attention, he's going to do something and make himself known, which is like the phone flying off and hitting me and stuff like that. So to me, I would almost say a lot of times I just want to be acknowledged. You know what I mean? It's like you're getting passed by 1,000 people every day and nobody's talking to you. It gets kind of lonely after a while. So I would say almost get her like a voice recorder. It's going to sound wild, but get her a voice recorder. Download the program Audacity onto your computer. Let her sit there and carry on a conversation. Ask simple questions. What's your name? How old are you? What do you need? Can I help you with something? Give it some time to answer. Go back and listen, and you might get some answers. figure out exactly what it is and why he's attracted to her. What's the situation? You know what I mean? There's a reason why he's trying to contact her, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And we have recorders, we use them for Bigfoot. So
yeah.
And Audacity, we have that already on the computer. So it's a good idea. Dustin, I got like 3 or 4 of them. I may just send one home with her. She doesn't live with me; she lives with her mom. But I may let her have one of those and see what kind of
I guess
what kind of door we open. So no, it does a lot. So
I want to ask you guys a question because I know you guys go out to these haunted places, and Kevin's behind the camera, Dustin's in front of the camera, and you guys are just conquering the building you're in or whatever you're investigating. Do you guys ever, let me see. Y'all have any procedures to, like, when you come home, is there anything you do to make sure that maybe nothing followed you home, or has anything followed you guys home?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead, Kevin.
Well, I was going to say, I don't particularly have any kind of like procedure or anything. I just kind of just go with the flow. Things have followed me home. It's not fun. Usually lasts about 2 weeks. Sometimes a little bit longer. We do carry sage, but we've never used it. Even when something followed me home, I didn't even use it. And so I've had 2 things follow me home. Well, actually, one I actually brought with me because there was a jewelry box at an antique store that we found that no matter where we took that thing, it was active. So it wasn't just that we took it outside and the K2 meters were still going off. I put it in my car and it was still going off. So it had to be something on that. And just quick story on that. I brought it home. Everything was fine until about three nights later. And there was little knocks. I'd put it in my wife's closet and she kept hearing little knocks in the deal. And we kind of did an investigation on it or whatever. And we kind of figured it was this elderly woman. But finally, after about a month, she got tired of it and she said, "Look, you got to do something with this thing." And I was like, "Well, I paid $30 for the thing, so no one would buy it and accidentally, what I mean,
yeah.
take it home and then not know what to do." So I didn't know what to do with it. So I gave it to this friend of mine who doesn't believe in ghosts. He thinks it's all a bunch of hooey. And 2 weeks later,
you can just send it to my ex-wife.
Yeah. I still got it. It's in my closet.
Oh, shit. Oh, see, excuse me. Yes, let's do that.
Right. But about 2 weeks later, he brought it back to me, and he said, you take this thing." He said, "I don't want anything to do with it." And I'm used to it now. We hear the little knocks, we hear the little scratches on the walls and stuff, and it's like, okay, we know you're there. So
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Things do.
I don't even know what to say.
Right. Things do follow you home, and we, and I know something followed me home from one place and followed him home too. He I don't think he had it as bad as I did because it was with me at work. It was calling my name. At least 3 or 4 people witnessed in our break room where I work. My shirt lifted up like this, and it actually pulled my arm up. And I was just sitting there playing on my phone, and that happened. And everyone said, "What in the hell was that?" And I was like, "I don't know what to tell you." And then they all left, But that particular one, it was a full body apparition for about 2 weeks every night at about 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning. It was a younger lady, probably in her 30s. She had old style haircut. She was wearing a yellowish dress with little red roses on it, or little red flowers. And I would wake up and she would just be sitting at the end of my bedroom with her hands like this over her face, just staring at me. God. Now, the first time that happened, I was horrified. I'll be honest with you. It freaked me out. And it just sat there. And so finally I sat there frozen in basically fear for about, I don't know, probably 30 seconds. And I finally just said, "Okay." And I just took the covers off and I ran towards it and it just disappeared.
Yeah. Kevin charged.
That's what well, yeah. Well, because no one ever does that. It works. They go away. So I did that for about a week and a half or whatever, and I would stay up all night. I was just like, am I going to see it? When am I going to see it? And finally, it was like a week and a half into it. I wasn't getting much sleep and everything, and I dozed off a little bit, and I looked up, and there she was. And I just kind of looked at her, and I said, "Look, if you're going to get me, just get me." And I just rolled over and went to sleep. And so, so after that, I didn't see her, but I would hear her calling my name everywhere. It was a whisper in my ear, and I'd feel like her breath in my ear. And that was the place that I got scratched, and that's also the place that I got pushed the first time I had an experience. That's where she came from.
God. I figured if anything followed Dustin home, his childhood entity would kick its ass.
Yeah, really, it don't last
Right.
long. But you equate it to, I mean, when you think about it, you're dealing with energy. So you equate it to, it's basically like it's energy stuck to you. So it's like you got slimed, I guess. It's like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's the way I look at it.
It takes a while to wear off.
Once it wears off, they're gone.
That is crazy.
Well, hopefully with my daughter's situation, it ain't nothing too crazy, or I may have to have you guys come up. So
yeah.
Right.
Well, all you guys
Yeah,
live in
looking for
Oklahoma,
something.
so right? All
Yeah.
you guys live in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm the
Brian,
odd
you live in
man out.
Oklahoma?
yeah, I'm in Oklahoma. Yep, I live in Mustang.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're just straight
okay.
north.
Right.
You guys are down
Oh,
what,
right.
Duncan area or somewhere?
Yeah,
I live in
Stevens County. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Whenever
too
you guys
far
go
away.
out, I'm a quick drive. I'll be there.
We were literally just up by you not too long ago.
Oh man, I want to
Yeah.
go too.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Right there.
Oh,
I'll shoot you guys my number.
Yeah, we were at
so.
El
hey, I want to
Reno.
go too.
Oh,
We
really?
went to El Reno at the Concho Indian School.
See, I saw the
by the way,
video
if
and I
anyone's-
was
Go
gonna say
ahead.
I saw the video and I heard where you said Concho and I was like, is he out in El Reno?
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but
Yeah.
I didn't. So
But you
We
guys got
should've-
kicked out of there, or they made you leave, or
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got kicked out. Not for
COVID
trespassing or
sucks.
anything. We never
man,
trespassed.
that's crazy. Mm-mm-mm.
But now they
Yeah,
they
just
got it
because of
shut down
COVID.
because of COVID.
Yeah, I guess that's the
We
good
missed
thing
out on
about
so much
us, huh?
stuff. Yeah, we
Getting in the
missed out
woods.
on a lot of stuff because of COVID this year. Like stupid amount of stuff.
Yeah, I had,
We'll
be
I had
lucky if
we have enough
16
videos for
locations
October.
lined up, and they're all
Whoa.
postponed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
you guys
had
have one
good-
in
we
a
had-
Texas?
really
didn't you?
big year.
Do
Didn't
I?
you guys have one in Texas scheduled?
Well, there's a couple we were going to do there. We were going to do Logan Hospital. A lot of people have done that one. It's one of those pay to play. You know, you got to pay like $60 a person to spend 4 hours in there. But supposedly,
Really?
you know,
Wow.
yeah. There's a lot of those. There's a place in Oklahoma City. Excuse me, I can't remember the name right offhand, but we were going to go up there and do a 4-hour investigation, and it was going to cost us, I believe it was around $2,000. Yeah,
We're in the wrong business, Brian.
We got to
Yeah.
start hunting Bigfoot.
and I said,
Yeah.
you know,
man,
it was like I said, and that's just for an investigation. They said, well, you're taking video and pictures, so we charge this much an hour. I was like, okay, I'll go to a cemetery or something. Shoot.
Yeah. No
yeah.
kidding. Hey, what
I
about
wish,
the classic cemetery? Go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say I wish that I could get access to my grandma's old house. It's not in the family anymore, but I drive by it every once in a while. And I'm curious if I ever see one outside. I just want to stop and say, hey, have you had any weird stuff happen here? Because it wasn't just the devil and my grandma. You know, I mean, my deal happened. I had a cousin and an aunt that saw a lady in a white dress walk out of the laundry room. I mean, just weird stuff happened there. Multiple people had experiences there. So if I ever catch someone, I'm just gonna be like, hey, anything going on? And yeah, maybe it'll be something that'll lead to where I could come in and check it out. So I know they did a total remodel on the house. So I don't know, maybe that'll either kill it or help it.
That'd probably stir it up.
Stir it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally changed a lot since she lived there. So
Hey, a story about Brian's grandma. So I was in Oklahoma helping Brian with some work, and it was the last night I was there. I think it was the last time I was there. And Brian's telling me all this about his grandma. He's telling me all this stuff, and it's late, and you know we had a couple of drinks, and we're tired from the day, and he's telling me these stories and kind of freaking me out a little bit. And then he's like, "You got to see this video on YouTube." It was it her funeral video? Is that what that was?
It was my brother's. It was like a memorial video. Yeah.
Okay, so on YouTube you can like scroll forward, and then you can create a link and send it to someone, and then they can click the link, and it'll open right there where you want them to see the video, right? Okay,
Right.
well, Brian, I don't think Brian does stuff like that at all, right?
No.
I mean, I don't understand. So
I'm barely here. You know what I mean?
He's telling me about his grandma, and he's like, "You got to see her. You got to see what whatever you got." So he opens up the video, he hits play, and as soon as he hits play, it's her. It's forwarded to her, and the look on her face, man,
it's an evil look. Yeah,
dude. I think I peed a little.
it was weird because her picture is like maybe, I don't know, 45 seconds into the video or something like that, before that photo. And it is a very, I mean, I could probably pull it up on my phone here in a second and show you guys. It's a weird picture, man. Like, you just see something.
Dude.
I don't want to say my grandma was evil, because I probably got family watching this tonight and they're probably all going to hate me, but she wasn't a friendly lady. Let's just put it that way. So,
hey, if we're having a staring contest,
oh yeah, you turn to stone. I mean, if the devil comes to see you twice in your life, I mean, you're probably pretty tough. You know what I mean? So
right.
There's something about you. Yeah. And
he's coming.
And the last time she saw him, it was in her house. The story I got was she had this kitchen and then a dining room, and there's like this sliding patio door coming in the dining room. Well, this, from the door to the sink, it's a straight shot. It's probably, I don't know, 35, 40 feet maybe. Everyone comes through the sliding door. I mean, the front door is always locked. And so she's doing dishes, and there's a huge mirror where she could see everyone behind her. It's just her there. She's doing dishes. She looks up, sees a man at the sliding door. So she turns the water off, turns around, and he's right in front of her. And she said it's the same guy she saw when she was a teenager. Very handsome man, like a dark blue suit with light blue pinstripes. And she's described him as the most handsome guy she has ever seen. Coal black hair, slick back. And she reached behind her and grabbed a pot out of the sink. She's doing dishes, and swung it at him. And he just kind of just dissipated right there in front of her. So I don't know. Weird deal.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Hey, maybe
freaky.
you should get these guys into that house if you can get a hold of them.
I would like to. I'd like to. If I can go by there and catch them.
Yeah.
I'll
totally drive up for that one. I'll wait outside.
There's a lot of places I want to get into.
I'm gonna while you guys are talking, I'm gonna see if I can find that picture, because I think I saw it.
Right. Hey man, so what are you guys slating for next year? Are y'all just gonna push what y'all gonna do this year into next year?
I don't know what we're gonna do, because every place that I've checked with, they're all it's all locked down. They said we can't get into these places until after all this COVID's done, and we have no idea when this COVID's going to be over. Yeah, and you're talking about some of these locations are abandoned locations that no one goes into, but still they won't let us in there because they're afraid, they're going to get in trouble for opening up for people or whatever. There's one particular one that I'm not going to reveal where it is, but it's owned by the Department of Justice, or the Department of Defense. I'm sorry. And we've been trying to get in that one for, a year and a half. And right before the COVID happened, we got the okay. I had to fill out paperwork for the DOD, excuse me, and everything. And we finally got permission to go into this place. And then COVID. And so now that's postponed indefinitely.
Hey, that's the word though, right? Indefinitely. That was one of the words of the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what they told us at Concho too. We didn't know. They don't know when we're going to be able to come back.
All right. So I don't know how well this photo is going to show for you guys. Well, there she is.
What? Wow. I see what you're saying.
See that look?
Yeah.
She's looking at me right now.
That's a big woman, by the way. That's not no little lady right there. That's
You said she was really tall, right?
Yeah, she's like 6 foot or something crazy like that. So, and her hair, she was right at about 7'10" with her hair. So,
Right.
Got an Elvira look to her.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Scary. That's scary. She make you go out. She make you go out front and get your own switch. You wouldn't think anything nice about her at that point. I guarantee you that. So, not that I had to get very many switches. I was a good kid. So,
Oh, okay. So I've never really had any per se haunted experiences. I know that we lived in a house in Grand Prairie on Holiday Lane, and it was this yellow brick house. Like my mom and my stepdad, I think we weren't even in there a year at all. Maybe a little over a half a year. And they wanted to move. They wanted to get out of there. Because it was one of those places, like when we came home, I had this little white terrier. Man, she was mean as the devil. But she would be waiting for us right by the front door in that little area. And she was like peeing everywhere. I don't know we didn't know what was going on. She wasn't old. She had no health problems. And she was always kind of shaky. So, and I know numerous times my mom had my stepdad go out backyard and check it out because, we had that classic kitchen sinks, are right next to the window. They go out into the backyard, and she's washing dishes, and she said something or someone, it looked like someone would walk by outside, and my stepdad would go out there and check, gun and all, man, and never anything. So, but I just thought it was weird that we moved. We weren't in that house long at all. I've been meaning to drive by it again just to see if anyone is living in it. I mean, what if there's not? What if it's just been empty and it's just unlivable? So
contact the owners and we'll go check it out.
Yep.
Hey, you guys have to, yeah,
definitely.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's an empty house. That's even better because that means they've been sitting there and they're bored. They want somebody to come talk to them.
Yeah.
To me, that makes
yeah.
They're looking for something bad.
Man,
one thing I want to ask you guys too is, and this kind of goes back to my daughter's deal. Like, what kind of equipment? Like, say, she's really starting to gear up for this, and so like, I want to facilitate that if at all possible because I feel like anytime your kid has a hobby in anything, you know what I mean. You want to do what you got to do to help them with that. So, what are some things that like some beginner stuff that I could get her? I mean, obviously the audio recorder, that's an easy one. But is there anything else that you guys? I mean, she's got a super nice Canon camera or Nikon camera. I can't remember what it was, but we got that a few years ago for her birthday. But anything else you guys want to recommend to us?
K2 meter.
Yeah.
They're like K2 meter. You get them. Yeah, just go to Lowe's and get one. Don't order one online.
Okay.
Oh.
It's because it's the same thing, and it's about $20 to $30 cheaper.
I think.
Okay.
I think
wow.
D's Ghost has them for $60 now. I think D'sGhosts.com.
Oh, really?
I think he's got
there
like
we go.
60.
That's actually about what they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And then see here, a good one that we like to use a lot. A Ghost Box SB11. Go ahead and get the SB11
or the 7.
Get the SB7.
Well, the 7's not bad for beginners.
Yeah.
Just to start off, it's smaller, easier to use. It's
is
cheaper.
that like
I think it's like $70. Spirit Box.
Is that the thing? That's okay, like Spirit Box. Okay, I saw that on
y'all's
video. Yeah, that's the deal. You were covering the speaker when you're asking the questions, and then
right.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Hey, what about you guys ever use those that Connect camera for the Xbox, where it kind of we're next where it'll like
we'll have one. We'll have one soon.
We're working on that. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys need one of those.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Yes. I want to do that one and go back to that sanitarium we went to in the South. We can't say where it was
Arkansas.
I want to go back to that sanitarium.
Well, it was in Arkansas. We can't say where.
This is like we can't say where it's at. Kevin's like it's in Arkansas.
Yeah, because other people say the name. We're just like it's in the South, Arkansas.
Right. We had to sign a deal or agree to a deal saying we wouldn't say where it was at. Everyone that goes there has to do that. We're the only people that ever didn't say
I'll
where
give
it
you
was
one
at.
more hint. It's 5 hours from Duncan, Oklahoma. Boom. There you go.
Wow.
Well, that kind of zeroes it in for me.
So if you find a sanitarium within 5 hours from Duncan, Oklahoma, that's the one you want.
Well, the weird thing is, I think it's the only one in Arkansas.
Oh. Fun fact.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, but everybody in the paranormal world knows it. Like in the field, they all know what it is, where it's at. I don't know why the people that run it don't want you to say where it's at, because everyone knows.
Everyone knows exactly where you're at as soon as they see the floor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Gotcha.
Yeah. One of those places.
Yeah.
But it's creepy. The violent patient dorm, man, that place blew me away. Yeah, it has a chain link fence over the doors.
Dang.
Yeah, it's got bars and it's crazy.
I can get
We walked in there. We set up all of our equipment, and I had it in a line all the way up to me, and everything just lights up, and it's in my head. I hear 1,000 voices. Just, like, what is going on here? I couldn't even. He was talking to me, and I couldn't hear him. That's how much was going on in my head. It was a wild deal.
Yeah, while we were setting up that one, he was setting up his static camera equipment and everything on a certain floor, and I go and I'm doing my little video thing. This is during the day, and I'm coming back, and where it's got a main stairwell that goes to all the floors, and I think I was on the second floor, and I see him with a bunch of wires in his hand, and he walks around this corner into this room. And I'm like, hey, man, and I'm sitting there talking to him and everything. And I round that corner. There's nobody there. And then about 3 or 4 seconds later, here he comes on the other side of the hallway down the stairs, because he was on the third floor. And I was like, what just happened? Because I saw him clear as day, walking around into that room. But with him, this is another weird thing with him. It's like, we catch it in video all the time. He will not be talking, but something will mimic his voice. Like
freaking internet sucks. Oh, go ahead.
Well, like Palace Theater. When we did the Palace Theater, we were standing there and we were getting ready to start our investigation and everything. And in the video, you hear him say, "Okay," and then 5 seconds later, you hear him say, "Okay. All right, here we are," and it's his voice, but he didn't say it because the camera's right on his face, and his lips did not move. But that's happened numerous times where they mimic him when we go places.
He's my buddy,
and that could be part of the whole deal. He's more sensitive to it. He's more attuned with them, with the spirit world, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
It's a weird deal. I just roll with it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. See, there's no, the way I look, there's no, like, you can't really read a book and get all the information you need to get about ghosts and hauntings and everything, because nobody knows. We really don't know. We could be doing this our whole entire lives, for 60 something, 50 years, whatever. And we might not know, exactly what's going on. I have different theories. There's the theories that these are ghosts. There's a theory that it's an alternate, universe. It's they're aliens. They're there's tons of different theories about what these things could be. Now, I don't know. I don't claim to know, what the truth is. The only way we're going to know is when we pass on. But we try our best to try to figure out, to our best of our ability to figure out what it could be.
Yeah.
Well, you guys ever ran into? I'll come and let you know what it is, Kevin.
Okay.
I'll come haunt you. I'll come knock on your door like, this is what it really is. Go ahead and write a book. Get rich.
Right. Well, that's kind of the thing, I told Dustin, that if something happens to me, I'm haunting his ass.
Oh
I'm going
yeah,
to tell him what's going
sure.
on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he can do the same to me. I want to know.
I just told
I
him to
don't want
stay out of
anything
the
to happen
bathroom
to
with
him.
me.
But right. Oh, you ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, I told my daughter I was going to haunt her when I die. So just to let her know that I'm
Right.
always going to be there and always watching. You know what I mean? So
Always watching.
I don't. Alan threw a question at us, and I don't really know what it is. It says, "Do any of the Play Store ghost things work on
I'm thinking
on
he's
your
thinking
phone?"
App Store.
No, they do
Oh,
not.
okay. Okay.
They have not developed
here's
an app.
kind of like.
Go ahead, man.
Well, it's basically, here's the deal with it: is it's all preloaded, and it's designed to go off. If that makes sense. So it's not
Yeah.
like a real. I haven't seen one yet. There's no. I don't know how to explain it. There's not a way to make your phone change the settings in it to make it do different things,
Right.
like the Ghost Finder and stuff like that.
One of the big ones that people use, and I used it when I first started investigating and stuff, because there was a couple of paranormal teams that it said that this was the best one. It's called Ghost Radio, and basically what it is it works kind of like a spirit box, except it doesn't have the on it. It doesn't have the static. But we did a lot of testing with it, and we found out that it's timed. In other words, it's 60 seconds. It comes on. Then so many seconds after that, there'll be a word, and it'll all be random words. And then so many seconds after that, you'll get another one. Then it does that 3 or 4 times, and then it goes silent for so many minutes, and then it comes back on, and it's all timed. Now these are all random words, but the timing is what gets me. Is like a ghost isn't going to be like, okay, now wait a minute, it's been 30 seconds. I need to to say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
And now,
Yeah.
It's
we
a
don't
program.
use
It's not
any
a
of the
tool.
apps. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's program.
It's a program.
Yep. That makes sense.
What about anything demonic in nature? You guys came across anything like that?
I've came across some really negative stuff a couple of times. I wouldn't my views on stuff's really weird as far as spirituality and like it's a rabbit hole that we could go down for hours and hours and hours. But I've came across negative ones before, I guess. But to me, I think for the most part, they're all like living with a bad roommate. You've got if they're eating your potato chips, you got to stand your ground and tell them to quit eating your potato chips. Kind of one of those type of deals. You're not necessarily going to get rid of anything. I don't recommend even trying to get rid of anything because they've been there a lot longer than you are, and it's energy. How do you dissipate energy? You know what I mean? So I would say you learn how to live with it or you move, unless you have a situation like mine or Brian's where they just kind of come out of the woodwork. You got to learn how to deal with them, I guess. You got to give them certain times where they can talk to you. You got to give them the opportunity because, like I said, they ultimately at the end of the day they just want to be heard. They have something that they need done. There's a reason why they can't cross from this plane to the next plane, And I have a theory on planes too. I think that I don't know how to. Like I said, it's a rabbit hole that I could go down for hours. I've got theories upon theories upon what makes this happen.
We have no time limit, Dustin. We have no time limit. So.
Well, okay. All right, you ready for this? All right,
I'm ready.
This is what got me going onto it. Okay, I got really into reading the Bible there for a while, and I read the story of the Tower of Babel. Right. Okay, well, think about it like this: they were building this tower. They were getting so close to the heavens, and it kind of freaked God out, and he changed everybody's languages. I mean, that's where they couldn't communicate to finish building the tower to get to heaven. What if you don't think of the languages as it was religions is what he gave them, like Islam, all that stuff. And each one of these religions now has just a piece of what you need to understand what life is exactly. And now everything else in those books are watered down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. I get it.
So to me, I think that there is a whole lot more to spirituality than, say, heaven and hell, God, Satan, all that stuff. I think there's a lot of planes, and the way you live your life determines on which plane you can choose after this. You can choose like reincarnation. You can choose to stay here. I also believe you have a soulmate, that it's not necessarily like somebody you're going to marry or somebody that you love. It's going to be somebody that your best friend, your brother. It's somebody that you're going to find in life, and that's the person that's going to complete, what your life's mission is or whatever. It's like I said, it's a freaking rabbit hole, and I'm going to go all over the place. But I think ultimately these planes can cross, and that's what can make a haunting happen. I think some energies can cross from one plane to the next, and I don't think kind of like the theory kind of like on Bigfoot, for example. Some people believe that he can jump from plane to plane as well, and that's why we can't find bodies and stuff like that. They just kind of disappear into thin air. I think it's similar for ghosts, spirits. It's energy, and it just jumps around. You can, depending on how you live. I do believe there is a bad spot for the bad people, and there's a good spot for the really good people. But I believe there's the ones that their maybe life cycle isn't completed, so they go back, they get recycled, they figure out what they did wrong crossing these planes, and then they reincarnate, start again until you run out. The term old soul, you know what I mean? People with dark humor, they generally have been around a little bit longer. You know what I mean? They don't look at life as important as others do because they know it's just going to start over. Does that make sense? The spirit does, deep down inside.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that may have been
No,
all
you're
over the
good,
place,
man.
but I look at stuff weird.
Oh, that's awesome. So I've never heard it put that way. So I like it. So I know I had this conversation with my daughter, and she was kind of like and I know this is probably pretty common, more of the, your energy is so strong that it could just never leave. And so it just constantly recycles, and it's in the same place doing the same thing, like a residual type deal. And that was her explanation to me, because I like to just kind of ask her, because I don't want to tell her my views on really anything in life. You know what I mean? When it comes to that, I like to hear her absorb it for herself, assess it for herself without my influence, because she may look at something totally different than I do. And so when she was telling me that, I kind of agreed with her on some of that. It's like, yeah, I think that a person can be so powerful, like internal, that once their physical self leaves, that energy has to go somewhere. It can't just die. And so I think some of those that we experience are that, it's just, I don't know, just a strong force. So
yeah, it's just almost it's like they just kind of hang out until they figure out what they did wrong, or I don't know how to explain it. I can't figure that out. Why the energy hangs out here for so long before that's just my thoughts.
Maybe the residual haunt is what they did wrong. And maybe they're just constantly re-stepping it to learn that. I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting spin on it. So
it's like that movie Groundhog Day.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't, like I said, it blew, like it just kind of, it's what I've kind of figured out, I guess, over this past probably pushing 20 years. I've been kind of going through the old paranormal thing. I've been.
Well, dude, you've had a lifetime of it, man. You've had a lifetime of.
But don't make a lot of what has happened, and a lot of stuff that, like what I've seen and stuff like that, you're not supposed to see.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yep.
According to the way you grew up. And I don't know.
I had a real interesting deal happen to me in the woods one night. I was with Dustin Clark and another guy, and Jacob Gomez was with us. And there were four of us. Were in the middle of the woods, no lights, just pitch dark. And Dustin and another guy were off to the side talking. Jacob and I were face to face talking. And we're probably a little too close, but it's so dark that, you know what I mean? Like you have to be fairly close to see each other. So he may be, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet away. Really, really pretty intimate for two men in the middle of the dark talking, right? but it's Jacob. Shane, you know Jacob. I mean,
yeah.
it's Jacob. So he's telling a story about something just off the wall, like just a life story, not anything about Bigfoot, not anything about anything, paranormal or anything like that. And as we're talking, in my peripheral vision to the left, I see what looks like a man, but he's super bright white and he's real thin, and he just moves by. As I see it, Jacob flinches and quits talking. And then I like, what'd you see? And he goes, nothing, and he keeps talking. And I have to grab him, and I'm like, hey, I said, something happened. I said, you flinched and you stopped talking. So what happened? He goes, I don't know, man. He goes, it may seem weird, but I kind of felt like somebody just walked by. And I was like, boom. I was like, I seen it. I said it was like this ultra bright person, and they just cruised right by. Like there was no legs or anything like that. It just floated just like smoothly by. And I mean, it weirded us out. You know what I mean? And it was confirmation for me because for one, I wasn't seeing things, right? Because he felt it and his physical body reacted to it. And he just kind of wrote it off as like, he just kind of the heebie-jeebie type deal. But with me seeing it at the exact same time, but I don't know what that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows? But we were in the middle of nowhere. We were in Oklahoma. Actually, we were by Shane. It was our first youth event at Arbuckle Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where we was. And the four of us had drove out to a spot and just kind of, hit the woods.
Hey, man, give these guys those coordinates. They might want to, since you guys can't go in buildings and such right now.
I'll tell you, it was one of the near one of the Buckhorn camping grounds at Arbuckle. I don't remember if it was A, B, or C. I want to say we parked at C, and we just kind of just aimlessly walked. You know what I mean? None of us knew where we really were. I mean, I spent a lot of time at Arbuckle growing up, but I never spent a lot of time at campsites. My uncle had a place there on the lake, so it was a first for me at one of those campsites. But we just kind of there's some woods, let's hit it. See what we see, and we were Bigfooting, you know what I mean? So it was different.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's seems like there's always like high strangeness, with paranormal. Well, Bigfoot is paranormal, but with your haunting spirit type stuff, and then with Bigfoot and with UFOs and all these other things like that, it seems like there's always some weird thing.
Yeah, they intertwine. They intertwine for some
reason.
Yeah,
man.
They do.
I mean, sometimes people see like light in the woods, and they coincide with like some activity they had, or
right.
It's like, where do you go from there?
It's like you take the map of UFO sightings and you overlay it to the map of the Bigfoot sightings, and a lot of those spots. Right. I'm the first one to tell you I don't think Bigfoot's an alien. So I don't even want to go down that road. But
there's some sort of high strangeness with it.
There is. I mean? It really is. Yeah, and I see why a lot of people think that. You know what I mean? If you look at the situation and like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of relation there. I mean, I wouldn't want to argue with any of those people. I know what I seen, and to me, I didn't see no alien.
I know the first time we went out there to cast, or you and Tim, the next day was a Saturday, went out there, and you and I went far down the creek to the south, and I stopped, and I felt a huge, overwhelming sense of anxiety and my heart fixing to pump out of my chest, like from 0 to 100. It happened like that.
Shane, I got that yesterday when I was there.
Did you really?
And I've never had that feeling. And I was going to tell you guys about that in the chat, and I got sidetracked. But right about where we cast, and I need to show you that cast that we try to do. It didn't turn out too well with the hairspray and the sand. But right about there, when I got to the camera, I had this just really weird.
That's about the area.
Yeah, like the feeling of I don't want to say I was scared because I don't want to ever admit that, but it's like something very uneasy. You know what I mean? Like uneasy to the point where I pulled my shirt up to keep my hand on my pistol. You know what I mean? And I don't ever do that. And so I had my hand on it, and I'm kind of just looking around like, man, just something don't seem right here today. And I don't know. That's the first time I got that feeling there. So, but side note, we got sidetracked on Bigfoot, guys. Sorry about that.
That was crazy.
I went out for a little bit yesterday, and I forgot to tell you guys about that. So,
we kind of on an expedition.
Go ahead.
We also got some another guy that wants to go too. That you guys might be interested in meeting up with.
Okay.
We actually, whenever we went to Concho, we was doing something with the 580 monthly magazine, and we started talking, and they're interested in doing some Bigfoot stuff, so they may want to get in contact with you guys here pretty soon too.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So he wants.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We actually gave him your name, so he might be contacting you here pretty soon.
Cool.
It's just a little magazine for Southwest Oklahoma, but hey, it gets you some, some people around.
Something. No, but have you guys ever thought about going overseas and going to that crazy forest where people, the suicide forest, or was that in Japan?
Oh yeah, in Japan.
I would go anywhere if somebody would sponsor me to go.
Right. Man. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Put me into the catacombs, name it. I'll go in there by myself with nothing but a camera.
Right.
Kevin's like, hey, man, wait a second.
You'll get lost.
Well, I'll get like some sort of a weird thing. I'll tie a rope to myself. There we go.
Hey, Kevin, I'm like you, man. I don't have a camera. I usually use my phone, or I have, action cam up here or my chest or whatever. But having a camera out all the time, I just want to catch that money shot. I just want to really take a picture or video of what I'm experiencing. And
I got so many plans to go out with you guys. I just got to get some finances going. We'll be golden. There's this camera set I want. It's wireless, ran by batteries. My thought is we get about 6 of these cameras and set them up, aiming out, and then put a bunch of motion sensor lights on the outer perimeter, aiming in. So if something walks inside the perimeter, those lights will come on behind it and it'll run it to us. If that makes sense.
I like that.
Or even an idea for you guys to try out. But get some motion sensor lights and put them aiming in towards you. So if something does walk in, it'll run it right to your camp. And I mean,
or run it right to the camera.
It's either going to be really good for you or really bad for you. One of the two.
There's no such thing as bad, right? Even bad news is good news when you're Bigfooting. So
you got a scared to death Bigfoot running right through your camp.
Oh God.
We got Tim. He'll slow him down. So
Tim's bait.
Yeah, that's bait. So,
I started thinking about this a lot.
Started to put this question. Somebody sent you guys about using the flashlight with the end unscrewed. I know you see that on all the shows. Y'all think there's anything to that?
No, and there's the reason why. You find out that moisture in the air will actually help make that thing turn on and off. And that's actually the connection on it a lot of the time. Now, sometimes it does work right, but the problem is you can't use it as evidence because other people in the community will shoot that down. So we basically have stayed away from it. That's the reason that it'll be given to you. The moisture in the air will make that thing go on and off.
Wow.
Even though we're in the middle of Oklahoma where it's dry this time of year.
Yeah.
But that's kind of. That's what we won't. That's why we don't really do it too often.
Yeah, we don't really do like the traditional. We do some of the traditional stuff that most paranormal groups do, but well, for instance, like we don't have a structure as far as like when we investigate. Most teams will go in. They'll do like a pre-investigation, like interviews. We do that. I do that. I mean, we do interview people if we're going into a private residence. Or I try to get the history of a place beforehand before we go there. But basically, me and him just walk into a place and we just start asking questions and setting our equipment up, and we get. To me, I think we get better results that way than we do if we do it procedure wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys are just like, here we are.
We're running and gunning, man. We're running.
We literally turn the camera on as we're walking through the door.
Very good.
And then it's like, hey, it feels cool in here. Let's walk in here.
Yeah.
Right, and we go in and we introduce ourselves. I mean, you probably don't see that a lot on our videos, but we actually go in and you tell them our names and say, "Hey, we're not here to do anything but to communicate with you. You know, we're not going in and I challenge you to any of that stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you see on TV,
Yeah.
Zach Baggins going in and you talk to me now or anything like that. You know,
My daughter loves Zach Baggins.
Oh my God!
Every
really...
teenage daughter loves Zach Baggins.
Okay, good then. So I just shake my head when she'll come to the house and be like, "Let's watch this show," and I'm just like, and I'll watch it with her, because that's what she's into, right? So you got to be supportive, but at the same time, I'm like, man, there's so much better stuff you can watch. But
Yeah. You guys watched Ghost Nation with Jason Hawes and...
It's really weird. As much as I do this, I really don't
You
watch
don't
any
watch
of the
that?
shows now.
Okay.
It gets repetitive, and you start going, come on. You sit there doing that a whole come on, there's no way that happens.
yeah. That's what I find on some other shows. So I like Jason Hawes when they had the original Tap show. When it was him and Grant, I enjoyed that show. I thought it was pretty well done. But a lot of those shows are just so far fetched. I mean, it's like I've never seen a guy so lucky. Everywhere he goes, man, he's talking to ghosts. He's
Oh, dude, even what's his name? Osborne's got one going on too.
Yeah, that one though. I don't know if you've seen. They took that off the air for a while, and there's a reason. He got caught faking stuff. I mean, it's on. You can see it. I mean, he literally
wow.
He basically I don't know how to explain it to you. But for lack of better terms, what he did was they're asking for a knock, and you see him kicking the wall to make the knock, and the camera guy caught it on there, and the editor, whoever was editing it, didn't catch it, and it made it to air. And then it was like a big deal for like a long time. A lot of people were like, okay, look, he faked that. Like literally faked it. So they took that. That's why it's not on the air anymore. It's why Portals to Hell's not on the air anymore.
Portals to Hell, that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, they took it off air, and now he just has that commentary show where they him and Ozzy and his mom do the whole
they look at videos.
Is this fake? Yeah. Right.
Oh man, whatever. I don't even know what the hell he's saying. Good thing he can.
Right. I don't really watch those shows either anymore. I mean, I used to. There's a few on YouTube I might check out, that aren't sensationalized, for lack of better terms. Because there's some on YouTube that get millions of views, but there's no way that these guys are getting what they're getting. I mean, it's just, if they were getting that, everyone would be at that place. You know what I mean? Everyone would be like, whoa, I gotta investigate that place. It's intense stuff. No, they're doing it for views. I mean, and I'm not ragging on how people make their money or whatever, but me and him, we don't make that crap.
There he is.
Hang on. If my stinking charger won't reach. I forgot to put it on the charger for the phone, and it barely reaches. So I have to kind of hold it. Okay. I think I got it now. I forgot what I was saying. So,
see, Dustin, you were worried about your internet. My internet's horrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't see you guys for like 30 seconds.
You didn't miss much.
Was that just like this?
Kevin dropped his camera.
I dropped my camera.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to plug it into the charger before I... Crap.
It's all right.
It went pretty wild.
See. I think we got another question from somebody. I was the guy somebody that asked about the flashlight. They could make it go brighter, and it did. And could you turn it off and it went off? Just odd how that. Okay, so he's saying he had direct response to questions. So, I don't know. I've never tried the flashlight deal, so.
Like I said, it's not that we're saying that it isn't, but we're saying whenever you try to show that as evidence, they will cut it apart, and that's what they'll say about it. Is that right there? It's the moisture. Yeah. They'll never even pay attention to what it's doing or anything. It's just, well, no, that's moisture. That's moisture. Blah, blah, blah.
So I guess you guys' community is just as bad as ours with.
Oh, yeah.
If you could get everybody on the same page, we could probably find Bigfoot and figure out what ghosts are. But everybody's, ego is so
I think a lot
bad.
of it's ego, though. You know, a lot of it.
It's a flying saucer that comes in, drops a Bigfoot. He spreads his ass and.
Yeah. Yeah. that.
Right. And then he froze on us. He had a great punchline going there, and then he froze on us. So
yeah.
In there.
And I think he's still there. He is. We lost you for a little bit.
What did I say, man?
Something about spreading an ass. You got right here.
Oh man,
right at the punchline is when we lost. So.
Yeah, like the Bigfoot spreads his ass and just all these ghosts come out, man.
So that's like everything I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly it.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, get that on camera.
But somebody would still say it's dust.
It's
yeah, probably.
Bigfoot and the alien ship is weird, but is real, but the other shit is fake.
Yeah, that Bigfoot was a bug, and that was dust blowing in.
Yeah, swamp gas came into the area and created a weird reflection on your camera. So that's all that was.
Oh God, that's funny, man. Well, I hope you guys can get out soon, man, because I know everybody's like stuck in the house, and this is like the worst year ever. And
last year we was out like almost every weekend.
Yeah, I remember last year you guys were throwing down a lot of live videos.
Yep.
Yes, and this year it's like, man, which proves the next point. We were out almost every weekend, and we got like 12 videos that actually had stuff in them. You know what I mean? That tells you all these guys that get all this stuff. You're like, man, come on.
I mean,
you can't be
Brian and I were talking about that too because we're personally going to start logging every day, the time of day, the weather that we're out there, so people can realize that we don't find stuff every time, like at all. So,
yeah, our batting average is super low if you think about it.
Yeah.
I think people think because we put it on here, right? I mean, we go on SBA and we talk about, oh, look at these tracks we found, and people think, oh man, they went to the woods again and found another track, but we went 20 other times and didn't see anything.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like yesterday, I went yesterday. I didn't see anything. There wasn't not even something that even remotely looked like a track. So I don't think people really understand the amount of work that we put into this. You know what I mean? And that for you guys too. So
is that yours, Kevin?
Some miles.
Yeah, it was my wife. She said COVID sucks.
Yeah, she's probably ready to get you out of the house. Yeah. She's probably wanting you out of the house. That's what it is. So
maybe
get rid of this corona.
She just came in here and asked me if I needed a charger. But
oh my God.
So are you guys hitting anything anytime soon? Outside stuff or anything?
No.
Man, these guys need to get into the woods and do what they do. And
I found an old cemetery, and I'd have to go back and find it. We went hog hunting there. It's on it's east of I-35, north of Texoma. But a lot of the tombstones were from like early 1800s. I probably have it pinged on my phone somewhere.
Oh, I got one for you guys.
That might be something worth checking out one of these days. I want to go with you guys. That's all.
Yeah,
that's what
I do too.
I'm casting a line right now. I'm trying to
get
you guys to fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you guys to fight on.
Put me in coach.
Here's an idea. Denton, Texas, Goatman's Bridge.
I can go to Denton.
I'm not far from there at all. I live just south of Fort Worth, so
I could be there in about 3 hours. You guys ready?
3 hours for you.
Yeah.
Right. We could set up a time to do that because that's public. It's outside. There shouldn't be any restrictions on on COVID or anything.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm in.
I'm game. I'm game.
I'm down.
We'd all rather make a video of it,
Mm-hmm.
A little team up.
Yeah, I've always loved those places that are like Goatman's, whatever, the Devil's, whatever. There's names like that for a reason. So.
Yeah.
Well, this one has. I mean, it actually has a history of a real. I mean, they did hang a guy from the bridge. Who was basically, from what I gathered, he was robbing people. He was a highwayman or whatever. He was robbing people. Like he would hide underneath the bridge when they would cross the bridge. He would rob them and kill them.
Oh wow!
And I mean, it's. I mean, it really did happen back in, I think it was like the 20s or 30s. And supposedly it's been haunted ever since.
Oh, cool.
But he was why they call him Goat Man is he was a goat herder by trade. That's what he did during the day. Is he had a little goat farm. So
the Goat Man.
Well, but you have freaking Zach Baggins has been there. Everybody's been there. All the big names have been to Goat Man's Bridge.
Zach Baggins needs to keep his ass out of Texas.
He was here in Oklahoma recently because his bus broke down and my buddy had to haul it for him. So
yeah,
I don't know what he
was at the stinking Tiger King.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Tiger Safari place. Yeah,
I live on the right side of 81 to not live in Joe Exotic, Oklahoma. It's literally we live that close. Now Kevin, on the other hand, he lives on the other side of 81, so he's technically lives in Tiger King, Oklahoma.
Kingdom.
Yeah. He can be there in 50 minutes.
About that whole thing is when we first started this thing, I didn't talk to Joe Exotic, but I talked to somebody there, and they did claim that there was a trailer house that was haunted, and apparently it was I guess I'm just speculating here, probably the husband that killed himself on accident.
Whoa.
It was probably their trailer house, but we were in talks to go out there and do an investigation, actually do a video, and then all that stuff happened with him. So, and then from what I've heard, they hauled that trailer house away and it's gone. And
wow,
I mean, I don't know.
It's all
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all gone now, huh?
Yeah, that lady owns it all now, right? So
I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
As far as Bigfoot, have y'all ever been to Lake Texoma? I haven't personally.
I've checked out some stuff around Texoma.
Yeah, I've heard of activity around there. I think there's activity around any place that's like that for the most part.
Texoma, is it Texoma, Dustin, that has the cemeteries where the old Indian cemeteries? Remember we were contacted by the people?
Yeah.
About graves washing up in their backyard.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they said a whole bunch of stuff happened off of it. Then we never got there.
That is cool.
Yeah. We were in talks to go out there with this couple who said that they were experiencing all kinds of crazy stuff, and these tombstones showed up in their backyard, like washed up, because they lived out by the on the water. And it probably wasn't 2 or 3 weeks later, somebody on the other side of that lake contacted us and said that they had stuff going on. Because apparently,
it was all moving.
Apparently, when they
were all moving, like within a week or two.
Yeah, they were all moving. Yeah, because they just couldn't handle it.
Wow.
But apparently, there's no like non-man-made lakes in Oklahoma, and they're all man-made, right?
Yep.
And in the surrounding area, they're all man-made. So supposedly, what happened is they had a big, huge Indian cemetery down where Lake Texoma is. And they just decided they were just going to flood it and turn it into a lake. And that's what they did. So there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of graves underneath Lake Texoma.
Dude, that's like some poltergeist stuff. Remember when the guy just moved the headstones?
Yeah.
Right.
What the hell? Let's just put water on all these guys.
Yeah, but they didn't move them. They're still there. Because those headstones, whenever the water rises up or whatever, some of those headstones have floated up into people's backyards.
That's crazy.
And that that's stone headstones.
That is wild.
So
back to
as
the
far as
Goatman
Bigfoot,
Bridge.
I don't know, but do what?
Because I said back to the Goatman Bridge because I'm still fishing for an
Right.
invite. I'm ready to go.
No. Hey, let's set it up, man.
I'm not gonna let you guys forget it. So
I'm
what about okay?
I'm busy
Can't
this
do it
weekend, but next weekend maybe.
Let's see. Let me check my calendar.
Oh man, you were fishing for an invite. Now you got to check your calendar.
Well, I'm trying to figure out when we're supposed to go to Mina. So that would be the 18th and 19th. I could do that. Matter of fact, that's my birthday weekend.
Ooh.
Bonus.
Let's plan on going down there that Saturday night.
I'll be 44. So
okay.
So the 19th, I could do that.
I'm in.
Yeah. So is it a Saturday? I'm just
Saturday.
I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Yeah, Saturday is the 19th. So.
Okay. I'm good with that.
There we go,
Dustin.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do it.
I'm in.
Collaboration.
I'm ready.
There we go.
This is going to be awesome.
On our first official collaboration. That's another thing to talk about the ego. Whenever Mysterious State started, we got the first couple videos out, got us a little bit of a following. We went, you know what? We want to go and highlight other groups around Oklahoma so other people, can help them get their names out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many we could find that actually wanted to work with us?
I'm in.
0.
None?
Yeah.
Yes.
What a bunch of jackholes.
I know. Is that not weird? It still
we had
away.
a couple that said they wanted to, and then when it came down to it, they always canceled on us, and they always said, "Oh no, we got this big thing going on."
Oh no, Brian and I say we're going.
Yeah,
right.
If you guys cancel, we're still going.
Yeah,
we can't get ghost guys to show up. Let me take that back. We get our buddy Jason Alexander, the ghost guy. We go with him every time we're up north. He's basically our buddy up north, and Chris Biggs. He's
Chris Biggs. Yeah.
That's
Chris
like
Biggs.
our two buddies. That's the only two that really do anything with us.
Wow.
And you guys. Other than that, we're pretty much we're lone wolves out in this community.
The lone wolves.
Well, anytime you come up to Oklahoma City or anywhere near here, let me know because
We've been up there a lot more lately than we have been anywhere else. So.
Yeah, you guys need to hit up Brian for sure on that.
Yeah, because
we didn't realize you live so close.
That weird stuff will probably show up. So.
Yeah, because you got Brian and Dustin here. You guys.
Well, my cousin is actually a part of my paranormal group. He lives in Mustang too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You guys get together. You are going to summon Gozer.
Yeah, dude. I don't think you realize how big of a Ghostbusters fan I am. I've got Ghostbusters Monopoly right up there.
I love Ghostbusters. Yeah, I love it.
I play it with my kids on the weekends. Dang it.
Heck yeah.
Don't let Brian and Dustin shake hands.
Yeah.
Be like this huge spark of energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be all right.
All right.
No telling what they have.
Kevin and I'll film it, man.
Right. We'll make $1 million. It'll all be good.
We'll run away from all you.
Just put the GoPro on your back so you can film us as y'all are running away from us. You know.
Now we're gonna.
I just realized they're there. They got us. I'll just let it roll.
Yeah.
I came out here to meet you, Casper. What's up?
What's up?
Looks like I'm not the only one with a birthday this month.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kevin, his birthday is 12.
Man, Kevin, I didn't know you were turning 12 years old.
Life's been rough for you, Kevin. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm telling you,
Freaking
pretty rough, man.
Yeah, for a 12-year-old. I hope your wife. I don't know.
It's the 12.
She doesn't realize how much Shane and I joke. So we don't take.
It's all
No.
good, man.
No, we're very joker.
Oh yeah, life's too short to be serious.
You gotta laugh.
Yeah.
If we can't laugh at ourselves and each other, what else can we laugh at, right?
Well, I laugh at myself all day.
Right.
Man, I laugh at myself when I'm alone. Like I just.
Me too. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, like why did I even say that? You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you?
What is wrong with this guy?
Like,
Well, that's
man,
me.
call my mom up and ask her, did you drop me on my head or something? What's wrong with me?
Yeah, did you drop me like 10 times or something?
Mine did.
Yeah.
Got a flat spot on the back of my head. Still blames my dad.
She says,
Yeah.
I'm married to Kevin, so bless you, Christy. Bless you.
Yeah, bless you.
Yeah.
Oh, look who finally showed up. It's Bait himself.
Bait, walking bait. Hey, he does ghost too. Like he's ghost bait also.
Yeah, he could be Ghost Bait, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Or clown bait.
he's whatever bait we say he is, right?
That's
So
right. Yeah.
we're gonna keep him in our rookie status so we can make him do all that stuff. So
All right, man. Well, I'm looking forward to the Goat Man bridge thing. It's
yeah,
gonna be cool.
I'm super excited. We ought to do a live show from there instead of that Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll live
We can,
stream,
and we can use our
vision and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we
Because we'll be doing a show, right? We'll be doing one on the 20th, right? 21st. So we could just do it on the 19th instead. Do it
Hey,
right
I tell
there.
you what, man. I'm gonna bring these track casts too, and you guys can see them in person. I know Kevin saw 3 of them.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
yep.
those are crazy, man.
Yeah, I'll bring mine.
Yes.
We was planning on going to that Bigfoot thing, but I think it's not even going to happen, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I first met Kevin, which was funny how I met him because he asked Brian if he could film like an interview, and Brian nominated me.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I think my words were, I can't do it, but I got the perfect guy who can.
I had no idea.
Let me introduce you to him.
Brian's like, hey, man,
we
you're
were
going to do
trying to figure out what Mysterious State was back then. We wouldn't even really, we had just had a meeting at Love's a couple weeks before that.
Dude, I love the name of I love it. Mysterious State. I love it, dude. It's cool.
Yeah, me too.
Well, what we were going to be at
wall.
first. Yeah, before, I mean, what we were really going to do is we were going to do paranormal investigating stuff, but we were also going to like dive deeper into like mysterious stuff in the state. You know, like the Heavener runestones, Jesse James Lost Gold, the Ozark Spooklight, the Oklahoma Octopus.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's
Whoa.
crazy stuff.
I think that.
But then we just started doing the paranormal stuff, and it just kind of just went that way. So
I like it because it's like
out.
Mysterious State works as like you're gonna go to a place, a state or whatever, and check it out, or it's a mysterious state of
mind. That's what we that's what we come up with. It could work both ways.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
There's a word for that, I think, isn't there? Let's see. Doug says we all know you guys have been dropped a couple times. Yeah. For sure.
Whatever.
I should bring Doug to the Goat Man Bridge.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, he'd be good bait for that too. So you gotta bring bait, man. If you want to catch something, you gotta have bait.
You gotta bring bait.
That's just simple rules. So.
Yes. Cool. I'm gonna bring some equipment. I don't have anything that cool as you guys have, but
I got my.
I'll bring a briefcase or two.
I got my FLIR. I can bring in.
Bring the FLIR. Yes.
Bring the FLIR. So
I haven't played with one of those much.
Yeah, FLIR.
I could bring my super crazy microphone, the parabolic mic.
Yeah. I got a parabolic. I could bring it too. So.
Right.
All right. I'll just bring my Bigfoot stuff and we'll be set.
There you go. There you go.
We'll intertwine it. It'd be amazing how much stuff probably crosses over.
And I'll see if I can give me a K2 meter before then, and I'll just use it before I give it to my daughter.
Yeah.
You know what? I may see if my daughter wants to come.
Oh, dude, that'd be cool.
She might want to do that.
Tell her she needs to come out and field test the K2 meter you just bought her.
Yeah, I could do that. Doug the Stinchcomb has always said there was a Goat Man. I mean, that's a Bigfoot hotspot there. In Stinchcomb.
We could knock out 2 in 1.
And you know what? Shane, you could come up with your kayak. We could kayak into there.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've been out there with you before, right?
No. Yeah, I took you there to show you that structure.
Yeah. Even though it was all dilapidated and old, it was still pretty impressive.
Yep. Yeah, but we can actually kayak into that area. So
this looks like this could be a fun little weekend. All right, it's gonna be all right.
so
Been a while since I got out of the house. Let's do this.
I'm ready.
Cool, man. Yeah, me too.
God, I'm so ready. I'm gonna put it in my phone and set like a 4-day reminder. Every 4 days it's gonna go off. What does this mean?
Oh yeah, that's the only thing I'm scared of is water.
Okay,
that's the only thing I will not do is water.
Fair enough.
I just don't.
You're like Bruce Willis in Unbreakable, man. He's like a hero, but water.
Right, Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Maybe get this guy a life jacket.
I think it's what it's called.
Yeah.
I won't even do it with a life jacket, man. Well,
really?
No, I'll walk into it, man. I crawl into a little cave, little tunnels. That don't bother me. Spider infested places, that don't bother me. Haunted places don't bother me, but you put me in a thing that's bigger than a kiddie pool, I freak out.
All right. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Yeah, Doug says he's good to go.
So. We'll get you some.
There we go.
We'll get you some SBA arm floaties.
There you go. Some little wings, float wings, or whatever you call them. So.
Oh, they got all kinds of cool stuff now. Man. Kids got it easy these days.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to practically drown to learn how to swim. You know what I mean? I didn't get no floaties.
My dad threw my ass off the boat and told me to swim back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Yeah, my dad threw me off of a boat too, and I sank to the bottom and walked ashore.
Well, there you go. I probably wouldn't do water either. Then.
Luckily, I was turned towards the shore, or I would have been walking out into the deeper end.
Yeah.
Right.
God, it's crazy.
Well, it sounds like we got a plan. So.
Yeah, we got a plan, and looking forward to it. If there's anything you guys can tell me to bring that'll, I don't know, because I've never done this before, so.
Flashlight.
Well, flashlight.
Okay. I will have a flashlight.
I would say preferably not like one that's a spot flashlight. In other words, not just a big wide, like a light that lights up a big area. If that makes any sense, is what you need to bring. Not necessarily like a stadium or anything, but like, what I'm trying to say. Like those little flashlights, it just has a little beam. Don't bring those. Bring one that's just a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Because you're gonna be able to see where you're walking and stuff like that.
I mean, we trek around in the woods at night all the time, so we have headlamps and all kinds of lights we use. So
it's the same thing. Just we're looking for different entities.
Yeah, it's a different ball game.
Doug said mushrooms, so then we'll see purple dinosaurs if we bring those. So
God, I'll be able to see in the dark. I won't even need a flashlight.
Start seeing giant chickens and stuff.
Giant chickens,
chupacabras.
Yeah. We'll solve all the mysteries that night. So
we are, man. I'm bringing my checklist. Just gonna check it off, dude.
We'll find lock
mystery machine on the side of our trucks.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do that. Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about or promote or anything of that nature?
We could plug our other site. A lot of people don't realize. Not only do we have Mysterious State, but we have another Facebook page called Haunted Oklahoma. And basically what it is, it's an informational page that we post information about haunted locations in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times there are places that you can go to with instructions on, who to contact or whatever. And on there we try to promote people people who want to get into investigating. Whoop. You got it fixed?
Yeah. Somebody sent me a text message.
Right. But basically what it is we want to promote safe ghost hunting. And in other words, where people aren't going out and they're trespassing. because when you trespass, you ruin it for everybody else because they shut those places down, and then they don't let anyone in there. If you're there and you're trespassing, or you're there and you're vandalizing the place, that's a place that people are going to lose out on because you're being a jerk. But on there, we kind of give some information on haunted places that are open to the public, haunted places that you would have to pay to play, things like that. So if you were interested in anything haunted Oklahoma, that would be your go-to place. Would be to go to that page and check it out. So there's that. I wanted to plug that a little bit. But other than that, Mysterious State, join the fan club. I know that sounds real pretentious, but I didn't know what else to call it, so I just called it a fan club. It's a group for people that are like-minded with haunting and stuff, like paranormal investigations. But
also
other than that,
we'll go with if we need a couple of investigators because we're going to a really big spot, we'll pop into that page right there and say, hey, we'll do pick a number between blah blah blah. We need this many investigators, and whoever gets closest to it, we'll take these 3. Bring a partner, We've done that a couple of times in the past. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's also we also live stream everything, so we make it to where you're basically a part of the investigation whenever we do it. So
that's a good way to get member interaction, which is a big thing Shane and I are into. So
yeah, that's what
because you try to find that core group of great people within your group, and you're trying to piece together a good team. Right. That's a good way to do that for sure. Yeah. Awesome. We should try something.
But yeah, we'll be excited. We'll stay in touch, and let's get ready to go find us Mr. Goatman and maybe a Sam Squanch. And guess anybody else seen Trailer Park Boys?
So September 19th.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm
in.
It's on.
Looking forward to it.
All right. I guess I'm gonna pop off of here and go get my kids ready for bed, and we'll stay in touch. I'm excited about this one. We're gonna have a
thanks for having us on, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Oh man,
you guys are awesome, dude. I talk you guys up all the time, man. You guys are great.
Yeah, we do the same thing about you. That's we was actually with that magazine guys. They were like talking about this stuff. Dude, you need to go hunt Bigfoot. You need to go meet with Shane and freaking Brian. You get he'll get you hooked up what you do.
Right.
Have them get with us.
I think a couple of months ago I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I sent him your way, Shane or Caleb. He wears a hat that says Bigfoot expert everywhere he goes. I mean, that's how into it he is.
All right. Nice. Oh, man. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. So.
Yeah, man, you guys are awesome.
Yeah,
we'll
make sure everybody checks out the page.
See you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
For the first time, we're going to meet each other in person. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've met him, but
I haven't. I'm a lot shorter in person, by the way.
All right.
All right. See you guys soon, man.
All right, bro.
Later.
Take it easy, man. Bye, Kevin.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that was fun, man. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Those guys are awesome. So it's gonna be cool. September 19th.
Looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be sweet.
Day after my birthday. What a present that'll be if we can get some type of evidence with those guys. So
I've always wanted to experience something kind of like this, so be cool.
Yeah, definitely. So,
all right.
Well, anything else with you, man?
Not really, man. Just ready for COVID to be over and ready to get back out into the woods.
I'm telling you. So. Same here, man. I'm so sick of Corona. I know I say that every show, but it seems like that's always in the discussion, I know everyone else is too. So.
All right, man.
Well, cool, man. Well, I guess we can shut her off.
Here, I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down.
I'll let you do that. So.
Okay.
I appreciate it.